Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Mannadium deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is an extremely fun deck to play, especially with all the amazing support we got for this deck recently. I'm super excited to show you guys this list, so without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Room Heart. This card is an amazing 3-of in the deck and just helps you with so many different plays. During the main phase, if this card is in your hand, quick effect, you can target a Mannadium monster that you control or a monster that you control with 1500 attack and 2100 defense and destroy it. And if you do, special summon this card, which is an amazing effect to be able to use with this particular card, especially since a bunch of the different Mannadium monsters actually benefit off of being destroyed. This card also has the ability, if it's normal or special summon, you can add a Mannadium card from your deck to your hand, which is a crazy powerful effect to instantly get to the exact card that you need off this card's ability. We then play 3 copies of Torrid. Torrid is one of the newest cards for this deck, and this card is super helpful in this particular build, because if you control a Visa Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense, you can special summon this card from your hand, making this card a great extender. And if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon a Mannadium tuner monster from your deck, which is a great effect to replace this card when you use your copy of Room Heart to pop this card to then special summon out a different tuner, which is just so cool about this particular card. We then play 3 copies of Meek. Meek is really good as a 3-of as well, because this card helps you swarm the board because it has the ability that if you control a Visa Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense, you can special summon this card from your hand. And you only special summon this card once per turn this way, and if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon a Mannadium Meek from your deck and then increase its level by 2, which is a great effect to just get another copy of this card and level manipulate it to be a level 4, which helps you out a lot for synchro plays. We then play 3 copies of Scareclaw Rykard. Rykard is a definite 3-of in the deck, and this card does have 1500 attack and 2100 defense, making this card an excellent addition to the deck, because this card has a great ability that you can special summon this card from your hand to a main monster zone adjacent to a Scareclaw monster you control in its column, which is going to usually be your copy of Lightheart that you're going to be special summoning this card under, which is going to help you out a lot with this card. And if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Scareclaw spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Then if 3 or more monsters are on the field that are in defense position, you can actually draw a card, which is a great ability. And the card you're usually adding from your deck to your hand off this card's ability is your copy of Scareclaw Arrival, which is a great Monster Reborn-like card that's going to help you extend your plays. We then play 3 copies of Visa Starfrost. Visa Starfrost is one of the most important cards in the deck to help you go in for all of your plays. This card is an extremely important 3-of in the deck because this card is a tuner monster and also is used in the majority of your combos, which is why we play 3 in this build. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is great to stop your opponent from touching the deck and just stopping your opponent from searching cards. We then play 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird can end turns on its own, which is why this card is a definite 3-of in the build, and is just a really good hand trap overall. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Terraforming. Terraforming is a really powerful 1-of in the deck to help us get to our copy of Peaceful Planet. We then play a single copy of Rhoda. Rhoda's really good in this particular deck because it helps us get to our copy of Room Heart extremely quickly. We then play a single copy of Mannadium Imaginings. This card is really good as a 1-of in the deck, but you only need a single copy of this card because it lets you reveal a Mannadium monster or Visa Starfrost in your hand to draw 2 cards. then place one card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. You can also banish this card from your graveyard and then target a monster that you control with 1500 attack and 2100 defense and treat it as a tuner until the end of the turn, which is a great effect to be able to turn one of our heart monsters into a tuner. We then play 2 copies of Scareclaw Arrival. Scareclaw Arrival is great as a 2/0 in the build because this card does let us bring back one of our Scareclaw monsters to our side of the field, or even Visa Starfrost, which is a great effect for this card to have. We then play 3 copies of Obsession. Obsession is really powerful as a searcher for the deck. This card is such a good 3-up because it has the ability to let you target one monster that you control and destroy it, and if you do, add a Peaceful Planet from your deck to your hand. Or if you control Peaceful Planet, you can add a Mannadium spell or trap instead, which is a great effect to be able to use with this card. I absolutely love this card in this particular build because it also has the ability you can banish this card from your graveyard and then special summon Visa Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense from your hand, which is just such a powerful effect for this card to have. This card is a definite 3-up in the deck, and it's one of the most powerful cards in this particular build. We then play 2 copies of Reichphobia. Reichphobia helps out a lot in this particular deck, and you really only want to play 2 copies of it in the build because it's so easy to get to, but this card has a really good ability that lets you add a Scareclaw monster or Visa Starfrost from your deck to your hand, which is just such a cool ability to get to your copy of Visa Starfrost so quickly in this deck. There's so many ways to get to Visa, it's just crazy. But this card also has a really cool ability that monsters that your opponent control lose 100 attack and defense for each defensive monster on the field, and if there are 3 or more defensive monsters on the field, you can actually target one card your opponent controls and destroy it, which is great for this card to be able to do, just pop a card on the field. We then play 3 copies of Peaceful Planet. Peaceful Planet is a definite 3-up in the deck, and this is the main field spell that we're going to be using in this particular deck, because it has the ability that when this card is activated, you can add a Mannadium monster or Visa Starfrost from your deck to your hand, just like your copy of Reichphobia. But it also has the ability that light monsters that you control gain 100 attack for each tuner monster that you control and in your graveyard, which can be quite a few to help you get your monsters really big. It also has the ability, if a face-up tuner monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can actually target one of those monsters and special summon it to your side of the field, which is a great ability for this card to have to just instantly get that monster back. We then play 3 copies of Book of Moon. Book of Moon is just great this format at just flipping your opponent's cards face down, and it's a great staple in this deck. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start off with 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence is a great hand trap this format to just stop your opponent in their tracks for their monster effects, while also setting this card to your side of the field to lock down entire columns of spells and traps. We then play a single copy of Reframing. Reframing is really good as a 1-of in the build because this card is an awesome counter trap that when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated while you control a synchro monster, negate the activation, and if you have a Visa Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense on your field or in your graveyard, you can destroy that negated card. You can also banish this card from the graveyard and then target up to 3 Mannadium monsters in your graveyard and shuffle them back into the deck, which is so cool to be able to just recycle your cards. This card is a definite 1-of in the build. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to be playing a single copy of the new Visa Synchro monster. This card is crazy because this card's actual summoning requirements is a tuner monster plus a light monster, meaning that you can use just tuners to make this card, which is really weird, but really cool. I love that about this card, and it just makes it very easy to summon to your side of the field because this card's name becomes Visa Starfrost while in the field, and you can only use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. And if this card is synchro summoned, you can add spell trap that mentions Visa Starfrost from your deck to your hand. And during your main phase, you can actually destroy a monster that you control, and also all synchro monsters that you control will gain 800 attack this turn, which is a really cool ability for this card to have to boost up your monsters so you can go in for game. But getting that search is just really good. We then play a single copy of the Crimson Dragon. The Crimson Dragon is really good for combo so that we can go in for some some amazing plays by tagging this card out for some amazing cards, like our copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. This card essentially skips your opponent's turn. It's very easy to put on your side of the field with your copy of the Crimson Dragon's ability. It's just a really good monster. We then play a single copy of Bish Bolkin. This card is insane for combos in the deck, and it is always treated as a level 12, so you can target this card with Crimson Dragon to be able to tag into your copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, which is just amazing. But being able to generate those tokens with this card is just absolutely insane. This card is a definite one of in the build. Plus, it's very easy to make because it cannot be synchro summoned, and it must be special summoned from your extract by sending 2 monsters that are level 8 or higher monsters that you control with the same level to the graveyard, 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner, which our new Visa Starfrost is actually a tuner monster, which is really insane. It makes it super easy to make your copy of Bish Bolkin. We then play a single copy of Chaos Angel, one of the most powerful synchro monsters ever created. This card also does not need a tuner to be able to make this card. You can treat a light or a dark monster as a tuner to make this card, and if you put a light monster in this card, synchro monsters you control are unaffected by monster effects activated by your opponent, and if you put a dark monster in this card, monsters that you control cannot be destroyed by battle, making this card a really powerful addition to the deck. We then play a single copy of Dispatter. Dispatter is just super easy to put on your side of the field with your copy of Crimson Dragon mid-combo. And this card is great because it's pretty much a walking negate and also lets you target a banished light or dark monster and special summon it to your side of the field to just extend your plays. This card is really good in the deck. We then play a single copy of Chen Ying. This card is really good in the deck as well because it can get absolutely massive, and it's just a really good boss monster overall. We then play a single copy of Baron de Fleur. Baron de Fleur is an awesome boss monster to be able to make in the deck because this card is a walking negate and it's just absolutely crazy. We then play a single copy of Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. We do play a lot of level 2 tuners in this deck, so this card is amazing to be able to make your copies of your level 10 synchro monsters like Baron de Fleur extremely easily. If you can make an 8, you can make a 10. We then play 2 copies of Astrolaud. Astrolaud is really good in this deck, and you don't even have to use Polymerization to summon this card. It just takes a Visa Starfrost plus a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense, which is essentially one of our heart monsters with Room Heart or Rykart. You can use those cards to be able to make this card, and it must be special summoned from your extract by banishing the above cards from the field or graveyard, making it super easy to summon to your side of the field. It cannot be destroyed by battle, and if this card is special summoned, you can actually target 1 monster on the field and destroy it, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to half that monster's original attack, making it super easy to OTK your opponent with this card. We then play a single copy of Appaloosa. Appaloosa is really good in this particular build because Appaloosa just gives you multiple negates, which is amazing, and it's just absolutely a crazy card. We then play a single copy of Azala. Azala is also very easy to make because we do play light and dark monsters in the deck, so this card is very easy to make to be able to pop cards on the field. 1 copy of Cross Sheep because this card helps you out with combos, plus it's very easy to fusion summon and synchro summon onto this card, so you can get both of those different effects, which is just really good. And then finally, a single copy of Lightheart. Lightheart is in the deck as a one-up because you can either use your copy of your Rykart or your copy of Visa Starfrost to make this card, and if this card is link summoned, you can actually add Rykephobia, the field spell, from your deck to your hand, which is very good to be able to do. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have not played Mannadium yet, you should definitely give this deck a try, especially with all the amazing support that this deck has gotten. This deck is super fun to be able to play, and I absolutely love the artwork. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come part of our notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.